world of football is, I wouldn't say it's normal, because all of a sudden...
It's never been normal, is it? It's absolutely bonkers.
I am joining you live from my bar.
Oh, wow. That potentially could be worth it for 30 goals a season.
Hello, my name is Roshan, Narayan, and thank you for joining us on In 20. This isn't a City jersey. This is a retro Napoli jersey. I've got a retro Man City player with me on the show, as always. Danny Mills, do you have any of those old jerseys of yours during your time at Man City?
I've got plenty. Is retro another name for second-hand or old? I think it is, isn't it?
I'll leave that to the viewers who are watching right now.
So
but
I'm
Danny,
second-hand, I'm old, and I'm slightly damaged. I think that's where I'm taking that.
Okay, that's not what we're talking about on this show. We're talking about football. But I take it that you really enjoyed Manchester City's win. I have a prize for you. We have a clip of you celebrating with Man City fans. Can we just have a look at it, please, quickly? We need to see Man City in the dressing room with the one and only Danny Mills. Oh, you've seen it as well? Is that you, Danny? My God, when I first saw it, I know he's the kid man.
It's brilliant, isn't it? The only reason I know that's not me, because I would not be wearing that underwear, and certainly not with white socks.
I agree. Speedos and that kind of undergarment should be banned globally. Trust me when I say this.
Especially unless you're an Italian model aged about 20, that's about the only time you can get away with it.
Once again, that's not the theme of the show. Let's talk about football and the slightly dark side of football, which has showed up over the past few months, especially in England. Pitch invasion. We've seen it in some lower tiers, in some cup games, and then, of course, in the Premier League when City won, the Premier League. What happens if someone stabs a player?
Well, do you know what, Roshan? I was talking about that with my kids the other week, saying, and it doesn't mean bringing a knife onto the pitch. You're talking about a pen. That's all you need. That's almost 4 or 5 inches long, sharp metal object. Someone's in serious trouble about that. What the hardest thing? Pitch invasions have always happened. I've been involved in one where we were top of the league at Leeds. I think early 2000s. We lost to Cardiff in the FA Cup. The referee was coined during the game, needed treatment for an incident, and I think needed a couple of stitches after the game. All the fans came on the pitch after we'd lost the game. It was away to Cardiff, and it was really just get off the pitch, no matter what. Get off the pitch as quick as you can. And it really was just run off, arms out, sort of just, I'm going. And if people got in the way, I'm sorry, but, we were a little bit concerned about our safety. That's the only time I've ever felt a little bit concerned about a pitch invasion. All the other ones after that, they're all in celebration. It's the fans that have won and come on to celebrate. You get a pat on the back. You get your hair ruffled. Well, I didn't, but other players got their hair ruffled. And it was all good fun and good humoured and people were just jubilant. What I don't understand is these complete idiots. Your team has won. You're going on the pitch. You should be ecstatic. You should be happy. But still you find it that you have to go and abuse, insult, get in someone's face, physically hurt somebody when your team's won.
Yeah. What is
wrong with you? Just enjoy the fact. And the ones we've seen aren't particularly big rivalries. This is not, Leeds, Chelsea or Millwall or whoever it's against, or even, Man U, Liverpool or whatever it might, or Rangers, Celtic. These aren't fierce rivalries between the two sets of fans. They're almost nothing games, nothing rivalries. So these individuals are just ruining it for everybody. And they're just idiots, complete imbeciles that are doing it and spoiling it for everybody else.
And would you say the only way to keep this in check, because you're not going to build fences, because that's just a disaster, another disaster waiting to happen. Would you say deducting points from these clubs? Now, imagine these people get on the pitch, they injure a player, the points are deducted, and then guess what? Tomorrow or the day after, City aren't champions anymore because of that fan.
Consequences and deterrents have to be first and foremost, and they have to be severe. Anybody caught abusing somebody on the pitch, I would say lifetime ban. And anyone verbally abusing, I'm talking 10-year ban. Physically abusing, lifetime ban. End of story. Named and shamed. Employers made aware of that situation. That affects your whole life. That will make people think twice about what they're doing. I don't think you'll ever ban pitch invasions completely. And most of them, 99% of the fans are very, very good natured within that, and it's not, it happens maybe once or twice a season. It's not a huge issue. We don't want fences. There aren't enough stewards. There aren't enough police to, cordon off the pitch. So deterrence has to be first and foremost. If it happens for a second time, if somebody is physically abused, then yes, then that club, I would say the first thing is next game behind closed doors, so all the fans get punished. And then thirdly, a 3-point deduction. Simple as that. Because then that forces clubs to say, right, okay, we need more stewards. We need more police, and we need to stop this from happening. And then the fans are just damaging themselves, aren't they? And that's what it is. So you get a little bit of self-policing. But these idiots, the incident with Patrick Vieira, and obviously,
oh my God, that was so. I would have thrown a punch.
Sheffield United. The only disappointing thing in that is I thought Patrick Vieira's tackle and was a bit weak. I mean, back in the day, if you'd have done that to Patrick Vieira, he'd have had you up against the wall in the dressing room, and he'd have given you a proper going over.
I mean, if you saw the video from the fans' point of view on that phone, my God, I mean, Patrick Vieira, I mean, God bless you, the way he remained calm for that long is a miracle by itself. In any other situation, on the road, he would have got hit. I'm telling you this right now.
And it's a little bit like, isn't it? Obviously, but different in different countries. But in America, you go into someone else's house, you can be dealt with however they want. But that's how it should be. You're going into someone's place of work. I shouldn't be able to walk into your place of work, get right up in your face and start abusing you without some sort of consequence coming the other way. And you shouldn't be affected by that because you're just protecting your space. And that's how it should be. But yeah, I mean, these fans, ban them for life. They're idiots and they're spoiling the game.
And to add on, as you mentioned, deduct the points from the club. And if it's really worst case scenario, it's an empty stadium for them for a very long time.
Yeah, well, you do it in that order. Deterrent first. Secondly, next you have a 1-game ban for all the fans. Then you deduct points. If it carries on after that, then it just escalates, doesn't it? You just keep adding on those bans effectively.
Okay, let's focus on the football itself. Fernandinho, Manchester City, what a relationship, what a player. Would you put him up there with the likes of Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira?
No.
Thank you. All right.
No, simply because he's been a huge influence at Manchester City. I would put Yaya Toure up there with Keane and Vieira in terms of influence in the games, the goals that they scored. I think Fernandinho has been a little bit maybe underrated captain at times.
Okay.
But Keane and Vieira, they were the pinnacle of those football clubs. They were the generals. Simple as that. Everybody looked to them as their leader. They led by example in every single game, in terms of quality, leadership skills, all those sorts of things. So he's been outstanding for Manchester City, but I don't think he's in the same bracket as Keane and Vieira.
Okay, fair enough. He's no more that holding midfielder. He was playing in defense. He was substituted. Who do they replace him with? Do they bring in a new defender, a midfielder, a striker perhaps?
I think they've got to look at somebody to be in that holding midfield role.
As a backup?
As a backup or competition for Rodri, I would say. Right. Because if you get your defenders fit, if you've got Laporte, Diaz and Stones all fit, you've got 3 outstanding centre-halves. That's not a problem. They've had issues with that this season. But those 3, that's more than enough. They might need a left/right back, I think, at some stage. Kyle Walker's exceptional. Cancelo is exceptional. After that, I think the drop-off is a little bit too much. I know Zinchenko's done a good job and was involved in one of the goals yesterday, but I think they need someone that can maybe play both sides and fill in for 6 or 7 games, not just 1 or 2 like Zinchenko has. Apart from that, they've got Haaland already. I think they're in outstanding shape. Yeah, they're in outstanding shape, aren't they? So maybe a fullback that can play either side, possibly a holding midfield player to compensate if Rodri is not fit or playing too many games.
You can watch all the highlights of what we've spoken about in the past on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook page. And one of that is the fact that you always think that I've got something against Pep Guardiola. I don't. I just have this notion of him being a better manager than Jurgen Klopp is something I just strongly disagree with. Okay, I'm always going to be a Jurgen Klopp fan for what he's done.
Four titles, Roshan. 4 titles, 5 years.
Fair enough. We can talk about people who won more trophies. Fergie won a lot more Premier League trophies and only 2 Champions League. Pep has won, correct, with Barcelona. So now I'm going to come out in defense of Pep, believe it or not. So Fergie's just won 2 Champions League, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of Premier League titles. You've mentioned he's got 4. So why do we have a go at Pep Guardiola, people such as me, and at the same time we back Fergie to being the greatest of all time?
Fergie did it over a long period of time. 13 Premier League titles, I think, in that time. Reinvented that team time and time again.
Yeah,
Pep will be up there. If Pep gets to 9 or 10 Premier Leagues, he will be up there. Simple as that. And that's all it is. It's just, Sir Alex Ferguson, what was it, 25, 26 years? It's longevity. He won the Premier League 3 times in a row as well. So again, can City go and do that next year? There's a good chance that they can with the signings that they've already made. I think if Pep wins another 3 or 4 Premier Leagues, he will be in that category as one of the greatest managers ever, because he's probably done it in a shorter space of time as well. But yeah, he's obviously won it back-to-back twice. The way that they play, the points totals, the goals scored, exceptional.
Yeah. Okay, so all these titles are the Premier League titles, FA Cup, domestic titles, right? Would you still consider him one of the greatest of all time if he doesn't win another Champions League? Okay. So
it has to winning the. I mean, I said this morning, sort of tongue in cheek, Liverpool are just a good cup side. Leeds have been just as successful in the last 30 years in the league as Liverpool have. So have Blackburn. So have Leicester. But if you go down to bare facts, coming second's pointless. It's irrelevant. If you don't win it, it doesn't matter, does it? Yes, Liverpool have won the Champions League. They've won 2 cups this season so far. But winning the league is the ultimate. To keep that consistency across 38 games, 42 back in the day, was incredible. So that always has to be the marker of greatness. Champions League, you can be great. You can be good in 6 or 7 games and win the Champions League. Okay. The league, you can't be good in that. You have to be good in 30 plus.
Okay, so then let's not talk about titles won. We talk about player development as well, because that's a really important factor for any coach out there. We've always heard about Raheem Sterling's tenure under Pep and how he made him a better player. But how about the fact that at one point in time, and if any Liverpool fan disagrees with me, you're lying, or you've got short-term memory problems, because you all didn't like Jordan Henderson for a period of time. You all actually wanted to ship him off, right? I've been at viewing parties where Liverpool fans were going at him, asking him to be substituted. So that revolution of Jordan Henderson under Jurgen Klopp surely has to be up there with any player or other manager.
But he was always bought, wasn't he, as a very, very good player. He played wide early on, didn't quite find a position, perhaps. And sometimes, managers and players, they just click. They find the right, or they mature at certain times, and everything sort of comes together. Guardiola's not done bad. Zinchenko was nothing special, but he's won the league several times. He's made him into a much better player. The young players coming through City, look exceptional. Are going to keep getting better. De Bruyne is a better player now than what he was when he first came back to Manchester City. Look at Gundogan. Was good, but two knee injuries, and has come back from that. Pep made Aguero better. He's made Sterling better. He's made Mahrez better. They'd won the title. Both managers are exceptional. They're great coaches, and also there's part of that though that good players react to good players. If you put good players in with better players and other good players, they get better. They learn from those players just as much as they learn from the coaches at times. So it's a huge mix. They're both exceptional coaches. Guardiola obviously is a shader in terms of league performances. I still think they are both exceptional. Both with great squads, and again, I guess next year the race will be between those two.
You say next year. Let's talk about Manchester United because you wanted to talk about them only next year. I mean, when I say next year, it's next season. The new manager just had his press conference. He was asked some nice questions, dicey questions. And the one thing that stuck to my mind was the fact that Uncle Ralph has moved a step up, right? He's going to be there twice in a week or something like that. That never, ever works. Trust me, from a business point of view.
No.
A 2-day consultancy thing never works, ever. But never mind. What do I know? I'm just wearing an old Napoli jersey. But that being said, in the press conference, he mentioned that decision on who has the right to make that final call, be it between Ralph and Eric, was down to the club. That's what he said. Not word for word, but that's what he said. Now, that for me is a problem.
Well, unless those two have a fantastic relationship.
No, it's not going to happen.
Well, you never know. You know, clearly, from what Ranić has done in the past and build football clubs, and he's built those football clubs up from the bottom. Manchester United need rebuilding from the bottom. I think Ranić could have a decent amount of input, and in terms of suggestions and ideas and that type of thing. Who then implements that and has the final say, I think, has to be with Ten Hag in terms of players. But I think if he's used in the right way, Ranić could have a decent input to Manchester United. He's seen it. He's seen how disastrous it is. He's seen it, you know, what a shambles it is at times. And he probably knows what it needs to fix it. If he gives those ideas and say, well, look, I would do this, Ten Hag might go, okay, I've shortcutted a lot of that knowledge and research that I need to do. I'll take that on board. Now I'll make a decision off the back of that. So I think it can work, you know, if they work together.
There were rumors as well, like Juan Mata might stay back. I'm not sure. I was just watching a clip earlier on today. We really don't know if that's true or false. But why would you want him there? Wouldn't you want a player like Matic there just to share a bit of experience?
I think Manchester United. I think he said it himself, didn't he? They need to start from the bottom up, you know, and that means a big clear out of a lot of players, bringing in some new players. Frankie De Jong obviously has been mentioned an awful lot. You've got Donny van der Beek going back to Manchester United as well.
I still am a big fan of the player.
And again, he knows those players. He knows how they play. They know him.
Will Scott McTominay start with him on a regular basis?
Who knows? I think, you know, he will go in there and he will start afresh and go, right, okay, this is how I'm going to play. This is the players that I've got, and this is how I'm going to get the best out of the players. Manchester United have the worst season they've ever had. Simple as that. They've been hopeless. You know, a 0 goal difference. I mean, that's
nuts.
Yeah, that's what it is. It is bizarre. So the only way is up for Manchester United. So I think, you know, just give Ten Hag time, let him coach, let him get the players in that he wants, which will take a little bit of time. It's not going to be instant. And I think you will see big improvements, you know, come this time next year.
You know, something was really heartbreaking. I'm a big Edison Cavani fan. I wonder why. I mean, he did have some time at Napoli before he moved to PSG. And that send-off he got that season at United for a player who's done so much, has been underrated, like Fernandinho to a certain degree. It was so heartbreaking. Should he have left early on when he told Ralph that, listen, I don't want to be here, I just want to go back?
Yeah, he scored some good goals, scored some important goals. You know, he's still been important to what Manchester United have done over the last couple of seasons. But again, fans are fickle, aren't they? At times, you know, I saw it. You know, it was at the Everton game the other night before they stayed up. You know, it was like at half time they were booing. They wanted everybody out, and all of a sudden, 3-2 in the second half. They're the best thing since sliced bread. You know, it's amazing how quickly, you know, fortunes can change. Last week, Leeds were singing "Sack the Board." This week, you know, the board are the best thing ever for getting rid of Bielsa, bringing in a coach that's kept in the Premier League.
Okay.
Yeah, football's very, very emotional at times. You know, Cavani has been a fantastic player. He's superb, and he will be remembered for that.
Personally, for you, Leeds staying up or Manchester City winning the title, which one is bigger for you?
Oh, it's been a great week. Both, it's all worked out well. Everton stayed up early on, which was fabulous. Obviously, you know, I've got links with them. Leeds stayed up, even better. Burnley went down. They should never have stayed up for sacking Sean Dyche. I said that right at the very, very start. And Manchester City win it. And, you know, I have to say congratulations to Liverpool for being a fantastic cup team.
Which one was bigger, Leeds or Manchester City?
Oh, Manchester City stopping Liverpool winning the title was the best thing.
all the highlights on our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter page. I love you, Danny Mills. It's been a fantastic season. I'll see you next time. When I say next time, it's the new season. Till the next time, of course. Bye-bye.